was a time before achievements and microtransactions where games were able to hold on to their secrets and their power. Games were harsh masters with impossible difficulty. Failing a game was far more common than beating it. But for those constant failures, there was one trick to not just beat a game, but completely dominate it. Neither fair nor sporting, cheat codes gave power to the powerless. The list of cheats in games was too big to consider, so we chose to focus on actual codes. These have to be typed in somewhere or activated by button presses on the controller. Not every code is about winning, but all of them let us outfox rigid game design and let the underdogs, for once, come out on top.
Good times.
Number 10. SimCity 4 Money.
Money isn't everything in life, but in some games, it's totally everything. The SimCity series asks players to carefully balance spending, taxes, and improvements to slowly grow a city. Throwing down buildings is a joy, but construction always has to be tempered by sober financial constraints. Freedom comes with the simple admission that weakness does indeed pay. The resulting infusion of cash changes the entire game, from city management to city building. This cheat code is one of the guiltiest pleasures in the Sims universe.
Number 9. Street Fighter 2. Play as the same character.
There's some things you just can't do, fundamental constraints of physics or logic. One example, you can't have both players be the same character in Street Fighter 2. Whoever picks first can be Blanca, and whoever picks second gets stuck with Zangief. That's just how the world works. The ability to fight Blanca versus Blanca is like defying gravity, which is what makes this code so amazing. It also lets players settle the endless question of who would really win if both players had truly equal characters. The chance for coding out dual characters, and sometimes hidden ones, has been a part of fighting games ever since.
Number 8. Metroid Swimsuit Samus.
Samus Aran was one of gaming's first depictions of a woman who wasn't just a damsel waiting to be rescued. She could fight, she could jump, she was a heroine. So it was shocking when the infamous Justin Bailey save code left her in only a swimsuit. Well, at least it looks like a swimsuit. Admittedly, it's hard to tell. Now, we don't know who Justin Bailey is or why the name was used as the code, but wherever you are, thank you. It's not an impulse we're particularly proud of, but it's one of the most infamous codes in games.
Number 7. NBA Jam Big Head Mode.
Showtime!
NBA Jam gave us basketball the way we always wanted to see it, with flagrant fouls and flaming dunks. So it makes sense that it would also bring us cheat codes that pushed sports competition over the top and into the realm of legend. No, we're not talking about the cheat codes that allowed us to play as the Beastie Boys, Bill Clinton, or Prince Charles, though they are awesome. We're talking about Big Head Mode. No matter how serious the match or intense the smack talking, Big Head Mode was mandatory. True, the effect is cosmetic and pointless, but it has an undeniable attraction like a surrealist work of art or a horrible car accident.
Delivers the facial!
Number 6. Mortal Kombat Blood.
As the name suggests, every match in Mortal Kombat is a fight to the death. The arcade version reveled in damage and dismemberment, but fearing a backlash from both parents and politicians, Sega neutered the Genesis version of the game and removed all traces of blood. But how could players strike back against censorship and restore the game to the bloody mess the developers intended? With a cheat code, a few anti-authoritarian button presses in the blood, and with it the soul of Mortal Kombat returned.
Number 5. Doom Noclip.
There was a time when all the games we now call first-person shooters were known as Doom clones. Doom was the game to play, and anyone with access to a PC in 1993 was blasting pseudo-3D demons with a chain gun. But after playing the hell out of the game, people started wondering what else it could do. Enter the Noclip code. It allowed players to walk through walls and into previously forbidden areas, exploring the game in ways they couldn't before. Many games have torn down their walls to let people see through the seams, but Doom was the first time we really broke free.
Number 4. Grand Theft Auto 3 Spawn as a Tank.
While the GTA games are known for their compelling stories and detailed worlds, the real draw of the Grand Theft Auto series is the ability to wreak havoc. Grab a gun and a car and start tearing up the city while the police chase you. Eventually, the cops will catch you and shoot you, but it's fun while it lasts. But it doesn't have to end when you're in a tank, aka the Rhino. Its ability to make a mess on a grand scale takes the game to the next level. For even more firepower, punch in the codes for armed and hostile pedestrians.
Number 3. The Legend of Zelda: Second Quest.
The original Legend of Zelda on the NES is one of the most cherished adventures of its era. If you thought Link's first quest was elaborate, how about playing through a second version hidden on the cartridge? Part of the beauty of this code is its simplicity. Just enter Zelda as your name. It's something that average people could and did stumble upon. In a time where you could simply look up cheats on the internet, finding a way to unlock a quest just as big as the main game turned average kids into the game gods of their neighborhoods.
Number 2. Star Wars: Rogue Squadron, Naboo Starfighter.
When Star Wars Rogue Squadron hit the N64, players quickly found secret levels, concealed characters, hidden ships, even a playable AT-ST. There was even a flying 1969 Buick. But by far the most amazing secret was the one they didn't find. Rogue Squadron came out on December 7th, 1998, 5 months before Star Wars The Phantom Menace hit theaters. Fans were ravenous for anything about the new movie. What they didn't know, what many of the developers didn't know, was the Naboo Starfighter from Phantom Menace was hidden in the game since launch. It was only when LucasArts released the code that players found a brand new ship from a brand new generation of Star Wars had been in their hands the entire time.
Number 1. Contra: 30 Lives.
If you think Dark Souls is difficult, perhaps you haven't played 1998's Contra for the NES. The game is so hard as to be patently unfair. Run-throughs often degraded into hurling controllers into the television or curling up on the floor and crying. The worst part? Each player only had 3 lives. So imagine the savior that is the Konami code. With 30 lives, beating the game became possible, even though it still wasn't easy. Although it first appeared in Gradius, Contra was the game that introduced the Konami code to North America. It then began a life of its own, appearing in hundreds of games, websites, and even morphing into a sort of shorthand for a gamer who knows how to bend the rules. 30 lives may seem like a cheap gift today, but in the yearbook of cheats, the Konami code will always win most popular.